Every major industry today started as a micro industry. Everything from steel to photography, oil, airlines, electricity, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, and search engines all worked their way into existence from a tiny starting point. Many of the oldest ones, like steel, automotive, and pharmaceuticals, took centuries to grow into the massive global industries they are today. But those created with digital technologies like search engines and smartphones sprang to life in only a few years. Countless businesses are already feeling the first waves of disruption as industry veterans are hoping to navigate the turbulent waters ahead. As always, it's much easier to visualize what goes away than what comes next. In his 2006 book, Long Tail, author Chris Anderson said, "When the tools of production become available to everybody, everybody becomes a producer." While much of what Anderson was focused on was 3D printing and flying drones, virtually every emerging technology offers an innovative playground for makers, inventors, and startup junkies. Over the coming 2 decades, we will be witnessing an unprecedented wave of innovation and creativity driven by the tools of production. During this time, we'll see an explosion of over 100,000 new micro-industries that will employ literally hundreds of millions of people. As an example, the global market for shoes is 21 billion pairs annually. Within 5 years, 5% of these will fall into the category of smart shoes. Now that means in just a few years, we will be producing over 1 billion smart shoes every year. During that time, we'll begin seeing a new era of industrial-grade scanners, 3D printers, thousands of new printable materials, and an equal number of sensors and data collection devices. This means that virtually anyone with a passion for shoes can launch their own micro-footwear industry. Even carving out a tiny niche selling 2,500 smart shoes a year at $200 each is enough to launch a sustainable $500,000 micro-industry. In the shoe industry alone, 10,000 startups selling 2,500 shoes a year will only amount to 25 million shoes in a 21 billion shoe marketplace. That's little more than a rounding error for the current industry. With our evolving new palette for smart shoe designers, we will likely see super niche markets for diabetic shoes, lacrosse players, steel-toed occupations, hockey players, sailors, sleep apnea people, mountain climbers, gymnastics, amputees, window washers, and organ players. There may even be specialty shoes for every known allergy, self-navigating shoes for the directionally impaired, dog shoes, cat shoes, and shocker shoes for correcting certain addictions. The smartest of shoes will even come to you when you call them by name. Since it will soon become easy to summon a driverless car, it will no longer be necessary to own one, leaving the garage empty. An empty garage tends to be a magnet for all the junk that accumulates over time, but it also represents an opportunity to become something else. And this will lead to a number of possible micro-industries. One option is to remodel 2- and 3-car garages into Airbnb rentals that you operate yourself, allowing you to make an extra income on the side. Another option is to work with the likes of Marriott, Hyatt, and Wyndham and create a branded rental as part of a new distributed hospitality experience. This is some of the things they're working on. An empty garage can also be rented as a startup space or a creative space for painters, sculptors, inventors, or musicians. Much like distributed hotel operation can also be part of a distributed storage operation. Technology is constantly becoming cheaper and more readily available. In the near future, these factors combined with new micro-industries have the potential to lift the third world out of poverty and exponentially increase the standard of living and quality of life for well over 1 billion people. There will be no reason, apart from potentially lack of stable rule of law, that will prevent these impoverished people from taking advantage of the new micro-industry economy and thus competing on a level playing field with the rest of the world. As these sections of the world come to economic life, global output and production will experience a tremendous increase. This increase will add to our ability to accomplish truly great things. With this amazing transformation, perhaps the dream of ending world hunger is closer than we ever imagined. Micro-industries will range from manufacturing products to collecting data, designing systems, advising, coaching, monitoring, building, disassembling, and reinventing business in unique and different ways. With the help of thousands of collaborators, micro-industries will spring to life around niches far too small for existing industries to care about. But it is in these minuscule advances that great opportunity will take root. A simple coffee mug can be redesigned in thousands of different ways. The same holds true for every toothbrush, piece of paper, ink pen, lamp, chair, and hundreds of other frequently bought consumer products. We are entering an unusually creative period in human history. Those who embrace change on a massive scale will flourish during the coming decades.